WCBI Midday starts now.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Lowndes County deputies are asking for your help finding a missing man. Michael Jones was last seen leaving Airport Road and Industrial Park Road area early Wednesday morning. Investigators say he was last known to be driving a gray 1993 Ford Ranger truck. Jones is 5'7" tall. He weighs about 220 pounds, has a full beard and a bald head. Deputies believe Jones would have been on his way home in the New Hope Road area. If you know where Jones is, call the Sheriff's Department or Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. A Starkville man is accused of shooting a home and car in Clay County. Franklin Young is charged in shooting into a dwelling and aggravated assault. Deputies were called to a home on Walkerton Road back on May 14th about gunshots being fired. Sheriff Eddie Scott says 2 bullets were fired into a home and 1 bullet in a vehicle. 5 people were inside the home at the time of the shooting, but no one was injured. Young was arrested in Oktibbeha County by the Mississippi Department of Corrections. His bond is set at $50,000. He also has a hold placed on him. Scott believes the shooting is domestic in nature. A Nettleton man is in jail charged in connection with a shooting in Monroe County. Early Sunday morning, investigators with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office were called to a shooting at 391 Liberty Road near Nettleton. 2 victims were taken to NMMC in Amory and treated for gunshot wounds. 20-year-old Ashton Saunier was arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He is in Monroe County Jail on a $200,000 bond. Both victims have been released from the hospital. Rescue efforts turned into a recovery mission after Tuesday's construction site accident in Starkville. 2 men were killed in a trench collapse near Lynn Lane and South Montgomery. Starkville Fire Chief Charles Yarbrough says the entire operation took around 10 hours. Fire crews were able to rescue one of the men who died on the way to the hospital. Chief Yarbrough says it was a tough day for everyone involved and has taken an emotional toll on the department.
A lot of people think that we don't have emotions, I think, because we never cry in public, we never do certain things, so I think that people think that we're really tough, but actually yesterday I could tell just by looking at their faces that they were really hurt.
As grief counseling will be available for the department, he's asking the community to keep them and the family of the workers killed in your thoughts and prayers. With easing coronavirus restrictions and lower gas prices, the Mississippi Highway Patrol is reminding drivers of the Memorial Day enforcement period. The enforcement period will start May 25th at midnight. MHP says it is expecting heavy traffic during the holiday weekend on Mississippi roadways. Troopers will be watching for speeding and reckless driving. Drivers are also asked to avoid texting and driving and to have a sober designated driver when necessary. All right, now it's time for a first look at our weather with Vanessa Alonso. Vanessa, how's it looking out there?
Hey there, Stephanie, and good afternoon to you. We are continuing to see a few clouds this afternoon, mixing in with that sunshine, but it's getting warm out there. Temperatures already in the mid to upper 70s. We have a warm front that's going to be lifting to our north over the next several hours, and we're going to see those temperatures warm up to the lower 80s by the afternoon. And this is just the beginning of our warm up heading into the Memorial Day holiday weekend. As you can see, highs for today will be in the 80s. More on that in your forecast coming up in just a bit. Stephanie.
All right, thank you, Vanessa. The Mississippi Department of Health is reporting 255 new cases of COVID-19 today. The new cases bring the state's total to over 12,000 cases. 1,500 of those cases are in long-term care facility. 10 new deaths are also being reported today. One of those deaths is in Lowndes and Yalobusha counties each. Statewide, there are now 580 coronavirus deaths. The health department estimates about 7,800 Mississippians have recovered from the virus. The number of COVID-19 cases worldwide has now topped 5 million. Here in the U.S., over 1.5 million people have contracted the virus. With all 50 states now slowly reopening, the focus is on protecting Americans who have not yet gotten sick. Michael George reports from New York.
Elvis Presley's Graceland Mansion in Memphis reopened its doors to visitors today, who will be asked to wear masks and have their temperatures checked. Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando are expected to present their reopening plans to Florida officials today. Houses of worship across the country are also beginning to open up again. But many state governors say gatherings must be 10 people or fewer, and many are pushing back, including several Baptist congregations in New Jersey.
The church cannot stay closed. It's wrong. It's unconstitutional.
In Minnesota, Catholic and Lutheran leaders also say they'll ignore restrictions and start holding larger-scale services next week. On Wednesday, police dispersed a large crowd gathered at a New York City synagogue. A new Gallup poll reports more people are joining in gatherings and going to public places, even as a new Associated Press poll finds most Americans are worried about a second wave of infections. There are also new concerns for frontline workers. The United Food and Commercial Workers Union says at least 68 grocery store employees have died from COVID-19, and more than 10,000 have been exposed or infected. Several chains, including Kroger, are now ending hazard pay for their employees.
I don't know why they would be taking our hazard pay away.
Workers at a pork plant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota got a hero's welcome as they went to work yesterday following an outbreak that sickened more than 800 people. At a Tyson chicken plant in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, nearly 600 have tested positive for the virus. The company says most of the people who tested positive had no symptoms. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
In a statement, the grocery chain Kroger says it has already issued $700 million in hazard pay, plus bonuses to employees.